Et salut à tous, c'est Fenrir, on est parti pour une nouvelle aventure. Hop, on continue les petites aventures avec notre cher Archon. Une canne à pêche.
That's right. It belongs to a legend. He and I met in a tavern. He told me about a particular kind of giant in his eyes.
So, did he do it?
The next time I saw him, he was covered in scars. It turned out the fish he sought had been... He managed to kill the fish, but sustained a serious injury in the process. Can a fisherman claim victory if he fails to bring back...
Well, Paimon thinks he...
That was my answer as well. The experience was far... In the end, he didn't want his...
Wait, that means you also know how to fish.
Maybe we can go head-to-head sometime. The powder still needs some time to settle, so let's wait a little long. Well, what do you think of my collection?
Yeah, if each item represents a different story, seems like, does every item hold a special memory, just like Atea's talisman?
That's right. The items in my collection actually serve a similar purpose to the ancient names passed down. They demonstrate the true shape of...
The shape of...
Most people perceive time as a linear concept, almost like a straight line that can only move forward. We cannot but there's also a different theory, one that I believe to be closer...
At once?
Let's say your journey ended right now. Thinking back on your experience in each nation, which one would you... Exactly. Even at the end of your journey, the things you experienced along the way don't cease to exist. Take out a portion of that journey, and you would likely make very different decisions, and eventually arrive at the future is the same way. It exists even though it has yet to come to pass.
C'est la Soviet,
We
c'est
just
mieux.
lack the means to perceive it. Of course,
that...
Humanity excels at living in the present. But too often, while the pilgrimage and the night were only by uniting the people of Natlan across to come up with such a set of rules. The first Pyro Archon must have possessed... That's correct. At first, he was a mortal man with no special power. After he ascended to the divine throne, he used it to borrow power from the heavens and establish the rules of Natlan. Namely, a framework through which ordinary people can ascend to Archonhood. By holding the pilgrimage, we're able to determine the strongest among us. And when that person ascends, in addition, the sacred...
So, it all comes down to the power of the divine... Wait, is that a family portrait?
Yes. That's my mother, father, younger sister, and the little saurians I turned a piece of my dad's leather armor into a canvas and commissioned a famous artist to paint...
Your sister is so cute! It looks like... Paimon was having a hard time thinking of an Archon as an ordinary... It really doesn't look like there was anything special about you before.
A little late for that question, don't you think?
Sorry! Paimon's so...
It's all right. I'd never get upset over something like that. No matter what others may say, my past is a precious... Becoming the Archon doesn't mean you sever ties with your family. The position just... My father made the most delicious stew, so my sister would often bring me a large pot of his cooking, and we would sit on a blanket and eat it together. One time, we didn't close the door securely, and the saurians you were raising ran into the room and knocked over the entire pot. My sister immediately burst. I still remember the way they laid there,
Wow.
Isn't that what being a family is all? As the Archon?
Well, what happened?
I believe she and... Anyway, that's enough about me. Now that the powder is settled, we can begin. Place the ancient name up there, and then we'll begin.
Oui, à la recherche de notre chère gamine.
Surely as the echoes of life resound, ancient name, take us to your fated bearer.
Kachina!
Huh? I'm not seeing things.
It's okay, Kachina. It's just us.
Everyone, you have to listen to me. I've been investigating the Night Kingdom this entire time, and I figured out what's wrong. The Wyatt. I was waiting for the Wyatt to send me back, but then this really strong monster, the Wyatt, saved me, even though its power is weakening. So I've been hiding from the monsters while trying to find a way to help. The Night Kingdom has become a huge mess, though. I keep hearing these awful sounds.
Don't listen to those sounds, Kachina. The Abyss is trying to strip. All you need to do is stay safe and wait for us. We'll be there shortly.
It's okay. I feel so much better now that I've had the chance to talk. I've never been strong or special at all, really. So I don't blame anyone for forgetting about me or leaving me behind. Just knowing you can't, I'll find a way back. You don't have to put yourselves in danger.
You're always like this, Kachina. Now's not the time to act tough. I don't know what lies the Abyss has been feeding you, but I'll tell you something right now. You're a victor of the Night Warden Wars, a hero of Natlan. All you need to do...
I'm really still. I don't want you to...
All you need to do is place your trust. No one fights alone. We're not leaving you behind.
Yeah, we're so close. We can't call it quits. Be careful.
Looks like we've lost contact. Now comes the most dangerous part. This entrance to the Night Kingdom was left behind after an abyssal invasion.
I know.
All right, then I wish you all the best. I'll tell Koichi to be ready just in case. She's very experienced in dealing with abyssal corruption. That face you just made. Don't tell me you two got into...
No, I just feel bad for...
I'll go with them too, Archon. The more people, the stronger the party. Thank you so much for your help, everyone. It really means a lot that you're willing to brave these dangers with me. And there's no time to lose, so...
Now that I've lost my power, I won't be able to provide much practical support. But I can still keep an eye on the situation from here. Eon-san, I know
Vu qu'elle a
it's
perdu tes
unlikely,
pouvoirs
but
dès
if
le
you
début
encounter a situation you can't
de
handle,
Natlan, est-ce qu'il n'y aurait pas... quel type de Maewika on va avoir? Est-ce qu'on va avoir une Maewika version Archonte ou est-ce qu'on va avoir une Maewika basique sans ses pouvoirs d'Archonte? Je ne dirai rien, mais j'en pense pas moins. Ma femme me balance une tonne de photos à la con pour me perturber en même temps que je suis en stream.
This will be a productive partnership, I hope. Evil shall be dispersed.
Let's do it.
So we're underneath Natlan right now? It looks nothing.
That's because in the distant past, Natlan was home to an incredibly advanced civilization. Humans only established their own society after the fall of the dragons.
So these are Saurian ruins? Wait, you mean like the elemental sovereigns?
Yes, a really long time ago. Very few records have survived. These ruins have been abandoned for a long time. But with the recent increase in Abyss activity, the installations around here have... So what you're saying is... we're not in...
No. It's going to be obstacle after...
Why are you...
It's the pre-adventure excitement kicking in!
Of course. I'm eager to get started.
Then let's go.
Let's do it. Mon petit dragon, tu m'ouvres le passage.
Seems like the road ends here. How should we get across?
As a professional trainer, I think you could stand to build up your endurance, Paimon.
Professional trainer? Paimon thought you were a warrior from the Collective of Plenty.
Well, that goes without saying. But I actually work as a sports coach. I provide professional guidance for many of Natlan's popular sports. And I don't just mean physical training. I design new...
Those guys look familiar.
We've fought them before. Let's go. Show no mercy.
Silence!
Stand with me. Lightning, Shuriken!
The tides beckon.
Whoa, the place we need to go seems really high up.
Bow your head.
M'attendez pas à avoir des bruits Oculus quand même.
Silence! Let the mighty be humbled.
Attends, y a pas de... Non, c'est bon. C'est automatique.
Disappear. Cheer. Cheer.
C'est l'heure de la sauterelle.
Transfixed. Witness my rise.
This is the final stretch. We just need to climb up, and we'll be there. Nothing to it.
Easy for you to say.
This must be the entrance to...
Yes. There's something in the depths of this place that feels
We actually... Okay, Paimon just needs to psych herself up. Hey! You don't have to drag Paimon! You're pulling too hard!
Looks like we made it. This is the Night King. It looks so diff. That overflow of energy is probably what trapped...
From this point forward, Everything we know about the real world no longer...
Paimon's more worried about how we're gonna make it out. We obviously can't go back the way we came.
Do you see that patch of light on the ground? It's shining down from that...
Oh yeah, right in front of us. So that's coming from up there?
Just like I said, our real-world knowledge doesn't apply here. We fell all this way. If this was the real world, we'd have to climb our way back up to the entrance. But here, all we have to do...
That's it? Right.
So that means all we need to do is find Kachina and bring her to this location.
Exactly. This light is streaming in from the real world.
The terrain looks difficult to navigate, and the visibility's not great.
Yeah, these floating black things don't look super.
Those are all manifestations of abyssal power. Be careful.
Ghost! A talking ghost!
Calm down, I'm here to help. You're the ones who helped Vichama. Yes, I'm Vichama's friend, Malco. It's like it was seeking me out, attempting to reassemble the pieces of who I used to be. I'm sorry I can only appear before you in this imperfect form.
No, we should be the ones apologizing. If the Spirit Speaker's stone hadn't become corrupted by the... But we had to destroy it. Otherwise, Vichama and his tribe would have...
Of course. Thank you for protecting him. I never imagined that. Under the power of the stone, it felt like our souls were connected. Turns out even our regrets were exact...
Whether in triumph or death.
Exactly. You're looking for a young girl. I'd like to help her. Be careful.
Paimon didn't realize it had gotten this bad.
It's like a seething volcano ready to engulf our world at any moment.
Ouch!
Quick, get back here. You can't go. Stick close to me. My power will be able to ward off attacks for the time being. We won't be able to keep this up. Let's try another route. This way.
Ah, quand même pas de carte. Donc c'est pas une zone qu'on pourra revenir facilement.
Not good. More monsters.
We shouldn't waste our time on them.
The tides beckon.
Paimon can't see anything!
It's easy to get lost here. Just stick close.
Did you hear that? What? Never mind. It was...
Don't scare Paimon like...
I heard it too. It was a voice from the...
What did it say?
Doesn't matter.
Paimon just heard it too! Let's keep going. Paimon wants to get out of this place!
We're here, Kachina! Oh, honey? Looks like our reunion will have to wait until we take care of these monsters. Good idea. Let's go! Let her
Zazzywy mu byli kindera.
You're finally here! Thank you so much! That monster can appear from anywhere. It almost caught me up on the YF's power helped keep me hidden, so I just tried to stay out of sight until you got here.
Had a girl. You did so well.
Should we start heading back then? Actually, I have a request. Will you come? I can't exactly put it into words, but something's...
That was the Pyro Archon's theory as well. Everything we've seen here
In the Night Kingdom, there are 6 main totem poles representing the Wyab. You can think of them like the body of each Wyab. Additional totem poles, like the ones around here, serve as proxies to which the Wyab can extend their consciousness. There are countless proxies scattered around the Night Kingdom. Through them, the Wyab can extend their consciousness. But if a proxy were to become severely contaminated, then a soul could become lost within the Night Kingdom.
Judging by the current situation, I don't think we're dealing with just one contaminated proxy. Even if we could drive back the abyssal power from one of them, that probably would...
Still, we can't just leave the Wyab to suffer. It's
I agree. We might even manage to draw out the monster that's been hunting Kachina. Getting rid of the monster might slow down the deterioration of the Night Kingdom.
Kachina? What?
Nothing. Just a headache. Maybe we really should leave. Kachina's already been here for too long. No, I'm fine. Just up ahead.
Listen to me, Kachina. We'll come with you, but that's because we want to help the Wyab. Not because you don't have anything to prove either. It's okay if you reach your limit. All right. The sooner we get...
We've already come all this way.
Let's go.
I'll stay here and try to stall the Abyss monster.
All by yourself?
It's all right. I may not be as strong as that monster. I don't have much time, so go.
Thank you for everything. You're a true hero.
No one...
Does your head still hurt? Let me help you walk.
I'm fine. You should know I'm made of stronger stuff than that. Wyab! I'm back! My friends and I are here to heal you. Wyab, can you...
So we were right. The contamination is already too severe. It's prevented... Alright, get ready, everyone. Time to purge the abyssal energy from this place.
Careful. We've got company.
Already?
You really think that puny soul could slow me down? Courage in the face of futility is pure folly.
Ah, c'est les nouveaux...
Tried to get in my way.
les nouveaux mecs de l'abîme.
You killed Malco?
You would have dispersed with or without me. Rather than worrying, you may have defeated others of my kind in the past, but No. The power of the Abyss is intact. I thought this night, that is the tragedy. Ancient names, pride. The Pyro Archon created those grandiose ideals out of pure selfishness. Anything... Don't believe me? Then ask yourself, why is the Pyro Archon strong beyond measure, while you, Kachina...
Kachina, give me your hand. Feel that? I'm right.
Thanks, Moalani. You're because I'm not alone and...
You're right. Maybe comforting ideals don't, but you also couldn't be more wrong. You've never had to work for your own strength, so you will never understand the true source of our power.
What?
The courage we have to stand before you and not back down? The power lies not in the but in our commitment to uphold...
Well said!
Let's go, Kachina. It shouldn't take more than 2 of us to handle an enemy like this.
Sorry in advance, but
There aren't many in Natlan who can beat it.
Allez, go. Zal ze even moeten beginnen liggen.
We actually won!
That's what he gets for.
Fantastic work, Kachina. Absolutely, this makes me so... I'm happy too, Mualani. Together we really are unstoppable!
Huh? My ancient name is glowing? But I thought I didn't bring.
It's probably a projection from the real world. But that doesn't explain why.
Wait, does that.
That was a bold move, diving headfirst into the fire to save your friend, especially in a place. Still, seeing you pull it off, everything you said was exactly right. As isolated individuals, it took years' worth of scars and lots of unnecessary. The Pyro Archon's plan will unite us as one. Everyone. Only then will we have the power to defeat. Tupac, a warrior from the people of the Springs. I fought against the Abyss door.
I've heard that name before. You were the giant.
Since you were able to awaken my words from your ancient name, that means you have fully embodied. Under the name Umoja, you shall unite the tribes and save Natlan. As long as blood still runs through your veins, even the tiniest spark of its blaze will become one with our vision for Natlan. Even amid everlasting darkness, our bonds remain eternal.
Ok.
What's wrong? So many memories. So that's what happened.
What do you mean? Did you just figure something?
500 years ago, they foresaw the very crisis we're facing now.
En gros, elle a
We
téléchargé
can
quoi.
go over the details once we get back. We shouldn't linger here longer. I know bits and pieces, but I had no idea Mualani was also part of.
This sounds like something that's going to need a lot of explaining. Let's focus on saving the... Okay, that should be enough.
I hear your voice.
Great. Well then, I'm afraid it's time to say goodbye. I was going to ask why you bestowed an ancient name upon someone like me. I'll keep searching within myself for the answer.
You are already an outstanding. You are all my most beloved children. It has always been my. Your ancient name is just that. A name. Much like your parents chose to name you Kachina, I focus on who you want to be. You are already worthy of your name. Now, the story of your ancient name is for you to continue. Just like your parents, It gladdens me to see the Pyro Archon's plan move another step towards completion. But it is go now, my children. Save Natlan on behalf.
I know we've never met before, Wyab, but I just thank you for encouraging Kachina. It was exactly what she needed.
Whoa, what's going on?
Il va falloir se barrer
We're out of
rapidement.
time.
It's the power of the Abyss. Quick.
It's a Sealy! The Sealy opened the way for us!
Cours. Cours, la putain de ta race, cours. Le dernier fief que je connais, moi, c'est le fief glorieux de Monster Hunter World.
The opening in the sky! It's closing! We need to hurry, or we'll be stuck here!
Oh oh. Rock and roll, baby.
You've done well. Now come home.
Elle a détruit la montagne. Elle a détruit la montagne, Atari.
We're back! The Pyro Archon say-
But she's not here. Yeah, didn't she say she...
She's still in the speaker's chamber. What we saw in the Night Kingdom,
So you're saying...
every great display of- You must feel terrible, Kachina. Just hold on. Let's get back to the stadium. The Pyro Archon said-
I recommend getting a full checkup. Just to make sure no damage gets...
Paimon feels okay. What about you, Traveler? Right. You always seem to do pretty well against the Abyss.
Let's get going. We need to share what we learned.
Right. The Wyatt...
I'll let her explain everything. Every move we make from here on out will just...
Nevillette, t'es pas obligé de monter sur les portes. Hein.
Huh. There's a lot less stuff here than...
It's good to see you all here in one piece. I know you must have a lot of questions, but let Koichi check you over first. It's best not to let any lingering effects of the Abyss go.
Thank goodness you made it back. I came here as soon as the Pyro Archon told. Take a seat, everybody. I'll examine. All right, that should do it for now. But just to be safe, I have to say though, I've never seen anyone react to the Abyss like you, Traveler.
He always has been special like that. He can even purify its power. Wait, now that you mention it, Paimon doesn't think she's affected.
Given the current situation, that ability will likely play a great...
Of course. I still have patience to see so...
Thank you, Koichi.
All right, all right. We might not see eye to eye, but just give it time. I'm sure we'll figure things out.
Yeah.
All right. There's so much to discuss, I don't even know where to begin. You've seen it for yourselves now. I'll get straight to the point. Natlan is on the verge of destruction. It's very possible our nation has less than a year
Huh? No.
That's right. But I've only ever disclosed that fact to the handful of people working with me to... Our looming destruction is not a recent development, but the inevitable conclusion of the disaster the...
Mulani told us a little bit about that.
500 years ago, all the nations of Tibet were invaded by the Abyss.
W.
Unlike the other nations, Natlan never had stable and deep-rooted ley lines, so we suffered the worst of the invasion. The battle against the Abyss was exceedingly long and brutal. In the end, victory came at the cost of our even then. It took centuries of solving the disaster, and still, this is but a superficial victory. The The problems plaguing the Night Kingdom are all the more complicated because that realm is essentially functioned immediately after the war. Our calculations estimated that we would have a maximum of 500 years before the Night Kingdom was completely lost. But at that time, we were a nation of the destitute. Our people no longer believed in our civilization was dying, our faith crumbling, and the line of power. If we didn't bring the nation back together, it would be foolish to even... So, the Archon had a long and involved discussion with the heroes of each tribe, and
So that's what happened. After finding Kachina, I encountered a strange figure who gave me... Since the plan was mentioned in those memories, I guess I've been chosen to play an important... But there's still something I don't understand. Those memories showed me the Pyro Archon from back then.
Huh? But that doesn't make any sense. The Pyro Archon is supposed to be human.
That's right. The hardest thing for humans to overcome has always been time. Or a god can extend a human's life by using a certain amount of divine power. But, as we all know, Natlan doesn't have gods like that. We can only rely on our own methods. A human life is like a flame destined to be extinguished. 500 years ago, only by dying before my time could I have the chance to wake up again.
So, in other words, this is your...
Yes. We only managed to defeat the Abyss all those years ago because the tribes came to... If the Natlan of the future was to have a fighting chance, the Pyro Archons that came after the war had to rebuild the decimated... The goal was to reunite the people and restore the strength of each tribe's Wayab. Once a tribe was back to its full strength, the tribe's Wayab would select the chosen would then stand by my side.
So that means...
That's right. You bear the ancient name Umoja. The same one held by the hero from your tribe 500 years ago. It means unity. After your adventure in the Night Kingdom, I trust you've come to fully understand the...
So in other words, you always knew who the Wayab were going to pick from each...
Yes. According to the plan, each tribe was supposed to have been fully restored by the time I awoke. But something went wrong along the way. The 6 heroes successfully inherited the ancient names from 500 years ago, but the intel regarding the plan wasn't... Once again, it comes down to the deterioration of the Night Kingdom. Communication...
Just like how the Ode of Resurrection failed to bring...
Exactly. It's just another tactic the Abyss is using against us. The Abyss may not possess intelligence. If we want to unblock that information from being passed on, my presence alone isn't enough. The ancient name-bearer must establish a greater connection to their name. So, I've tried my best to help them. Currently, Shalonen of the Children of Echoes, Kinich of the Scions of the Canopy, and Iansan of the Collective of Plenty have all been acknowledged by their name. During your adventure, you too earned the acknowledgement of your Wayab, Mualani. In the process, you gained the memories stored within your...
But we have less than a year!
Yes, but we have no choice. We cannot start the plan until all the heroes have been gathered. That's also why I haven't been able to take action despite the urgency of this.
But if you knew this whole time, why didn't you just tell me about my role in all this? Wouldn't that make everything...
Perhaps, but the opposite could also be true. Knowing your destiny too early and failing to realize your full... Just like your determination.
So I suppose you're not going...
That's right.
Enemy.
Their time is yet to come. Putting pressure on them beforehand, I can only trust in the judge. I have never believed I could solve this crime. Natlan's salvation lies not in its Archon or any... You're quite perceptive, aren't you?
Huh? Oh, right! All the stuff you stored here before, where did it all go?
Even though I sacrificed my power, I still needed a contingency plan to ensure you... After all, I was the one who allowed you to take that risk, and Mualani has an important role to play in my plan.
C'est dans le titre, Nami. J'irai pas jusqu'à dire parfait, mais en tout cas, c'est dans le titre.
The stories embodied by over time they became on their own. Each item by
C'est le mec premier degré.
I was able to activate. It was a rather crude approach.
But weren't they all...
That's exactly why I dragged you all here. No matter what.
You have nothing to be sorry for. You all deserve my thanks, actually. If you hadn't saved the totem pole, that area of the Night Kingdom, and then it would only be a matter of time before the Children of Echoes was met with disaster. Besides, when those heroes entrusted their belongings to me, or the Pyro Archon of their time, if they knew those items helped save the present-day heroes of Natlan, they would not mourn their loss.
Even when you put it that way, I still feel...
There's no need. Remember what I told... The people and the events of the past are never truly lost to us. If you still have regrets, let them fuel your resolve in the battles to come. Your deeds will become new legends and nurture new forms of power
Well, we'd still like to return the favor.
Well, if that's the case, just now that Kachina has returned, we can finally hold the victory feast and celebrate your team's triumph, and we could all use the rest, that's for sure. Plus, you'll be able to silence everyone who doubted you once and...
Still, now that I know the danger we're facing...
Try not to let it get to you. It's important to stay calm. Worrying... Alright. You should head out.
Maewika.
When I was young, I used to sit by the hot springs and listen to the stories of warriors from all over Natlan. They attract people from all walks of life. Friends come easy here, no matter what tribe you're from. The people of the springs have never claimed the hot springs as their own private property. They are there. It's been really nice, seeing the children of my tribe get older. I've witnessed their energy, their determination. Even when they cause trouble, I never managed to hold on to my anger. I'm certain Mualani will become a great warrior when she grows up. She possesses infinite potential. One day, when I'm no longer in fighting form, I'll come here and tell stories to all the children. So, you better get busy, Pyro Archon, or I'll end up running out of stories.
Hein?
Our nation is engulfed in
Tenok.
darkness. Our tribes stand divided, and yet you promise victory in the distant future. The Abyss is a My rage will never know absolution, and my power will no longer aid you in... But you came to me because you knew you could convince me with just a single sentence. I understand your choice. The heroes of today will forge the path ahead with blood and fire. Just remember to... Otherwise, rest assured, I'll find a way to come... For Natlan.
So, you're gonna head 500 years in the future to... But what about the youth?
You can't ask her those questions and expect her to answer, my dear. The decision is her. We will do everything we can to rebuild the tribes. Don't you even across time. We will...
Yeah, Mom's right. We'll always...
Ah oui, par contre, le jeu est très très beau là-dessus. Et la zone qu'on est très très beau, très très belle en tout cas. Ce truc qui est dommage, toi, c'est que c'est un peu le... Comment dire? C'est un peu le côté... Putain, j'ai bouffé le nom. Forcing en fait, parce que toi, par exemple, il y a beaucoup de zones où si t'as pas le personnage que eux te demandent entre guillemets d'avoir, dans les gachas, bah en fait, t'auras moins de facilité à avancer.
I'll come find you one day. I know I can't live that long, but I'll think of something.
Que tu as un personnage qui va utiliser une genre de torpille qui lui permettra d'escalader plus facilement les murs. T'en as une qui a un requin pour pouvoir nager sur l'eau. En fait, il y en a un qui a un grappin, toi. Donc en fait, Si t'as pas tel personnage, toi, c'est plus dur pour toi de monter. Parce qu'il faut vraiment que tu gères ton endurance et tout, et c'est plus compliqué. Faisable, mais plus dur pour toi, quoi.
May our children live to see such a lovely son.
For Natlan!
No one fights alone.
The rules are my legacy. They shall grant us the strength to overcome the next tragedy.
War forged the 6 tribes, taught us how to fight, instilled in us.
Who will be the...
We are the inherit, those who grew alongside Sun, and those who fought.
Après, tous les jeux de WoW sont quand même très beaux. Tu prends Genshin, tu prends Star Rail ou tu prends Zenless Zone Zero. Les trois plus récents, en tout cas, sont très très bons. Honkai Impact est un peu moins peut-être joli aujourd'hui, qui a pris quand même un bon petit coup de vieux. Mais il reste quand même très sympa, toi.
You here for the victory feast too?
Oh, no. I knew Chaska would be here, so I just came to deliver some medicine. It's not that I don't want to celebrate Kachina and the others. I'm so glad she made it back. It's just...
Ah, well, you two had a...
She didn't cause any trouble during your...
Yeah, she was super helpful. She gave us a lot of useful
That's good.
Is there a reason you asked? You were pretty outspoken when we first met, but now it's like you're holding something back.
Maybe it seemed unreasonable, picking that fight with her before you left, but her impulse to fight is extremely strong. Her mental strength helps her rein it in, but she still loses control sometimes.
So what you're saying is...
Okay, so maybe it sounds a little stupid, but it works pretty well. It helps her keep her cool for... Anyway, I'm just glad you were able to make it back safe and sound. That's all I wanted.
But do you really have to go that far? Can't you just talk it out?
No way. Chaska never... I appreciate the Oh, and if you ever need a doctor, you know who to find.
Huh. Who would have thought there was a deeper reason behind... In the end, it's all the...
Let's give a huge round of applause to our brave young warrior, Kachina!
Well done. Thank you, everyone.
I always knew you could do it. With so much potential at your age, you have a...
You're one to talk. Don't think I didn't know you were the first person to abandon your team. I'll be dealing...
I had no choice. My friend invited me. I couldn't just say no.
Oh, really? So you weren't just trying to get ahead in the first round?
I wasn't, I swear. I just happened to find that bearer injured in the wild. So I stopped to bandage his wounds. When he insisted on repaying the favor, what was I supposed to do? I'm just one person. I figured Kachina would have no trouble replacing me.
But the fact of the matter is that after your departure, everyone else started thinking about swap.
I'm really sorry, Kachina. It was wrong of us to abandon you like that.
It's amazing that you still made it all the way through to the Night Warden Wars.
So, what about you guys?
Our team captain drank too much the night before the competition and turned up late to the stadium.
Serves you all right. No sympathy from me.
All right. There's no need to be like that. Dear friends, firstly, I'm grateful to my friends and our great Archon for helping to bring me back. This traveler and his companion Paimon are some of the strongest people I've ever met. If they were allowed to participate, they've agreed to let me learn from them. With their help, I believe I can become even. And let's not forget my good friends, Moalani, Chaska, Kanich, and Dion-san. They all helped the Traveler in Paimon. They too deserve to be called our heroes. So, please.
Well said!
I'll drink to that.
How does it feel being a hero?
To be honest, it's a bit overwhelming. Well, you better get used to it. Hey, please don't.
There you go. M'avouer calm.
Ah, you're here. Have some fruit juice. I got it specially for you two.
How did you know? That's Paimon's favorite.
You look like you've still got questions. Ask away. Because they had their own lives to live. The thought of telling them, abandon your families and everyone you love, and come with me to the end of time. For in 500 years, Natlan will be you could just as easily point out that everything in this world would come to an end eventually. But life is short. Imagine if I said, let's leave right now, and go save the sun because it'll flame out in a few million years. It would sound I couldn't make them shoulder that burden with me. Besides, every generation will have its heroes, this one included. The plan could still work without them. Or, of course, without me. But since I was the one—
I'm suddenly remembering that portrait in your room. Was that your family from back then?
Yes, it was. So when you asked me who my sister grew up to be, the truth is that very little information survives. From what I've been able to piece together, I can conclude with a reasonable degree of confidence that she ended up as an architect and artist. She played an instrumental role in rebuilding the scions of the Canopy tribe, designing and building many Still, it was an impressive achievement, and you feel lost. This is a war, and there can be no war without loss. The people of Natlan look to me as their—
Yeah!
I suppose, even if the future ends in destruction, and it's precise. This is a pivotal moment. Well, 3, to be precise. There's your resistance to the corrupting power of the Abyss is truly remarkable. If you agree to join us, you will not only gain my full support in your journey, but I will also forge a brand new—
Ancient names can be—
They can. Several strict conditions must be met, but if they couldn't be forged at all, then the number of them in circulation— Possessing an ancient name would mean that your adventures in Natlan are recorded in full. Your stories would be remembered by our people for all the years to come. The Ode of Resurrection may have temporarily lost its power, but still. Take this as my just like in the Night Kingdom, I will be there for you.
Yeah, we can't just ignore the situation here.
Wonderful. Then I'll reach out to Shilonen right away. She's the one who will forge— We've never forged an ancient name for an Outlander before, but I trust she'll—
My lord, we've received word that the Pyro Archon has lost much of her power. Although your injury complicates things, this is most certainly the
Victory and defeat are rules, not outcomes. I have never taken advantage of an opponent in a time of weakness. As for you, I must confess,
No matter how dense the fog, as long as the sun remains, we cannot turn day into night. She could have dispelled it. She simply chose— You don't have much time. And you're injured on top of that. What do you plan to do next?
I'm beginning to see just how useful you may turn out to be. You heard something from here, didn't you?
Capitano. Ah, et peut-être qu'avec l'anticunon, justement, on va pouvoir utiliser le pouvoir de Natlan. Ah putain, on a fini. On n'a pas de suite pour l'instant. Attends la prochaine mise à jour. C'est les capsules. On va récupérer déjà notre... J'oublie qu'en fait à chaque mise à jour ça va rajouter des missions. Mais là on a fini toutes les missions de l'harpon.
Add Astra. Thank you for Add Astra.